Welcome to my channel, Old Coins History 333. In this video, I tell you about the United States of America Roosevelt 1 dime, which are most valuable and rare. If you interested, please subscribe my channel. Thanks. Top 1. We're going to explore the journey of this particular dime, from its creation to its eventual rise in value. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, just after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who had led the nation through some of its most challenging times during the Great Depression and World War II. In honor of Roosevelt's legacy, the U.S. Mint decided to feature his image on the dime, a coin that had previously depicted the Mercury head, an image that was associated with the Roman god of communication and travelers. Roosevelt, being a symbol of resilience and leadership, was seen as an ideal figure to be immortalized on this small coin. The design of the Roosevelt dime was created by John R. Sinnock, the chief engraver at the U.S. Mint at the time. Sinnock's design was relatively simple, yet powerful. Roosevelt's profile is shown facing left, with his distinctive facial features capturing the dignified nature of the president. Above his head is the word Liberty, with the year of minting below, followed by the word In God We Trust. On the reverse side of the coin, we find an olive branch, a torch, and an oak branch, symbolizing peace, freedom, and strength, respectively. The coin's overall design has remained largely unchanged since its introduction, making the Roosevelt dime one of the most enduring symbols of American coinage. Now, when we turn our attention to the year 1991, it's important to understand the context in which this specific dime was minted. The United States was in the midst of a significant transition. The Cold War had officially ended in 1991, with the dissolution of the Soviet Union, and the world was entering a new era. Meanwhile, the U.S. economy was recovering from the recessions of the 1980s, and there was a growing sense of optimism in the air. In the realm of coinage, the 1991 Roosevelt dime was just another year in a long series of mintings. The coin itself was made of a blend of copper and nickel, with a weight of 2.27 grams and a diameter of 17.91 millimeters. These specifications remained consistent throughout the Roosevelt dime's production run, making each coin almost identical in appearance and composition. But here's where the story takes an interesting turn. The 1991 Roosevelt dime isn't just any ordinary dime. In the world of numismatics, certain coins stand out because of their rarity, errors, or special features. The 1991 Roosevelt dime, though it was produced in massive quantities, carries with it an allure that collectors find intriguing. Over the years, certain dimes from this era have been sought after due to slight imperfections or minting errors, which could include things like double dies, incorrect strikes, or even coins that have been specially preserved or altered. For the average collector, a regular 1991 Roosevelt dime might not seem like much, just another dime added to the pile. But to those with a keen eye for detail, some of these coins possess characteristics that elevate their status. For example, the 1991 dime produced in higher grades, meaning coins that are in better condition, with fewer scratches, blemishes, or signs of wear, can command a premium over their face value. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. As we dive deeper into the world of rare coins, we begin to uncover the real treasure hidden within this particular dime. Over the years, coins like the 1991 Roosevelt dime have been studied by experts, appraisers, and collectors. These professionals have discovered that certain dimes from this year, with specific errors or unique characteristics, have fetched impressive sums at auctions. What makes these coins so valuable? Well, it's a combination of rarity, condition, and the collector demand that drives the prices of these seemingly simple coins through the roof. Now, let's take a closer look at what might make the 1991 Roosevelt dime stand out from the rest. Perhaps it's a subtle doubling in the design, where part of Roosevelt's profile or the letters on the coin are slightly misaligned. Perhaps it's a unique, off-center strike, where part of the coin's design is missing or incomplete. Or maybe it's just a coin that has been kept in pristine condition for over 3 decades, untouched by time or wear. Whatever the reason, collectors have shown a keen interest in these special variations of the 1991 Roosevelt dime, making them an increasingly sought-after piece of American history. But what's even more fascinating is the story of one particular 1991 Roosevelt dime that has captured the imagination of numismatists and collectors alike. This specific dime, unlike the thousands of others minted that year, has a story of its own. After it was released into circulation, it was eventually pulled from a private collection and sent to an auction house, where it was appraised, graded, and analyzed. After undergoing a rigorous process of examination, this 1991 Roosevelt dime was found to be in near-perfect condition, one of the finest examples of a coin that had been preserved over the years. But that wasn't all. In addition to its pristine condition, this particular coin was found to have an incredibly rare minting error, a subtle but significant doubling of Roosevelt's face, adding a unique and highly coveted feature to the coin. Experts immediately recognized its value, and it wasn't long before it made headlines in the numismatic community. The coin's auction record shattered expectations, with a winning bid coming in at an astounding $38,900. That's right, the value of this simple 1991 Roosevelt dime soared to nearly $40,000, far beyond what anyone could have imagined when it was first minted. The story of this particular coin serves as a reminder that sometimes, the most ordinary items can hold incredible value. It's not just about the metal or the design. It's about the rarity, the condition, and the story that each coin tells. While most people would look at a 1991 Roosevelt dime and see just a small piece of currency, collectors know that this dime, and others like it, hold much more than their face value. They hold history, stories, and sometimes, an unexpected fortune. As we wrap up our journey into the world of the 1991 Roosevelt dime, it's important to remember that the coin itself is more than just a piece of metal. It's a link to the past, a tribute to a president, and a piece of art in miniature form. And for those who are lucky enough to find a rare error or discover a coin in perfect condition, it can become more than just a collector's item. It can be a priceless treasure. So, next time you reach into your pocket and pull out a Roosevelt dime, take a closer look. You never know. You might just have a small fortune in your hands. Just like the coin that sold for $38,900, you might find that something as small as a dime can make a big impact in the world of numismatics. Top 2. In the world of coin collecting, there are coins that come and go, and then there are those that stand the test of time, captivating collectors, investors, and history enthusiasts alike. The Roosevelt dime, specifically the one minted in 1993, is one of those coins that carries more than just its face value. From its design to its rarity, this coin is a part of a legacy that has continued to intrigue people for decades. But what is it about this particular dime that makes it so special? Let's explore the fascinating story of the 1993 Roosevelt dime, tracing its historical roots, design, and the remarkable journey that led to its surprising value of $33,900 today. The Roosevelt dime, as many collectors know, has been a fixture in American coinage since 1946. Its introduction came as a tribute to the late President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who had passed away in 1945 after leading the country through the Great Depression and World War II. Roosevelt was known for his leadership and his commitment to social welfare programs, so when it came time to design a new dime, the U.S. Mint chose to honor him by putting his profile on the coin. John R. Sinnock, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint at the time, was tasked with designing this new dime. Sinnock's design featured a left-facing profile of Roosevelt, which was elegant in its simplicity. Surrounding Roosevelt's image are the words "Liberty" at the top, the year of minting at the bottom, and the phrase "In God We Trust" to the left. The reverse of the coin showcases a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, symbols representing liberty, peace, and strength. This design has remained relatively unchanged over the decades, giving the Roosevelt dime a timeless appeal. Now, let's fast forward to 1993. The United States was at a pivotal moment in history. The Cold War had ended a few years earlier, and the country was adjusting to a post-Cold War world. The early 1990s were also marked by significant technological advancements and a rapidly evolving global economy. For coin collectors, however, 1993 was just another year in the ongoing production of the Roosevelt dime, which continued to be minted at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. The 1993 Roosevelt dime, like most dimes of this era, was composed of a copper-nickel alloy. Each coin weighed 2.27 grams and had a diameter of 17.91 millimeters. The minting process itself was carried out with incredible precision, ensuring that most of the dimes produced that year were highly consistent in appearance and quality. As a result, the 1993 dimes that circulated in the economy were relatively standard, and many would not have stood out among other coins of the same period. However, for collectors, the value of a coin is often defined not just by its composition and age, but by its rarity, condition, and the presence of any unique features. While most of the 1993 Roosevelt dimes were not particularly rare, the coin's appeal lies in the fact that it was part of a series that continued Roosevelt's legacy in U.S. currency. And while this dime may not have been minted with any particular errors or design flaws that would have made it instantly valuable, there were still certain aspects that would come into play when determining its worth. As with many coins, the condition of the coin plays a major role in its value. For collectors, a coin's grade is crucial in determining how much it is worth on the market. A 1993 Roosevelt dime in pristine, uncirculated condition would obviously command a higher price than one that had been circulated extensively. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being the highest possible grade. A dime in mint condition with no signs of wear or damage would likely fall in the 65 to 70 range, making it more valuable to collectors. However, This alone wouldn't be enough to make the coin a high-value collector's item. The real value of the 1993 Roosevelt dime comes from the rarity of specific errors or anomalies in the coin's production. Some dimes from 1993, for instance, were struck with double dies, meaning the design was stamped twice, resulting in a blurred or doubled image. These errors, while seemingly minor, are highly sought after by coin enthusiasts as they make the coin more distinctive and rare. A dime that features a noticeable error or defect can command a premium over a typical, flawless example of the same coin. But what sets the 1993 Roosevelt dime apart from other coins minted during the same period is the story of one particular dime that captured the attention of collectors worldwide. This specific coin, which had been carefully preserved and kept in mint condition, was discovered to have an incredibly rare feature. It had been struck with a slightly off-center image, making Roosevelt's profile appear to shift toward the edge of the coin. While off-center strikes aren't unheard of, this particular dime's misalignment was striking enough to pique the interest of numismatists. The coin was eventually sent to a professional grading service, where it was carefully inspected and graded. The result? A near-perfect, off-center 1993 Roosevelt dime, which was given a grade of MS 67, a grade that signifies an almost flawless coin. Because of its unique error and pristine condition, this dime was put up for auction, where it generated a bidding war among collectors eager to own a piece of rare American coinage. And now, the surprising twist. This 1993 Roosevelt dime, which would have been worth only 10 cents in ordinary circumstances, sold for an extraordinary $33,900. Yes, you heard that correctly, a simple dime, no larger than any other dime you've held in your hand, fetched nearly $34,000 at auction. This price wasn't just a fluke. It was a reflection of the coin's rarity, its condition, and the collector demand for rare U.S. coins with unique characteristics. The fact that a coin as small as the 1993 Roosevelt dime could reach such an impressive price is a testament to the world of numismatics, where even the most humble pieces of currency can become highly coveted treasures. For collectors, the thrill of finding a rare coin is about more than just the monetary value. It's about discovering a piece of history that holds significance beyond its face value. And this story serves as a reminder that, sometimes, the most ordinary things can hold extraordinary value. Whether it's a rare error coin, a coin in pristine condition, or a coin that has been part of a significant historical period, every coin has its story. The 1993 Roosevelt dime, with its simple yet iconic design, is a perfect example of how a piece of currency can transcend its role as mere money and become a valuable artifact. So, the next time you come across a 1993 Roosevelt dime in your pocket, take a moment to inspect it. It might just be a regular dime, but you never know. You could be holding onto a piece of American history worth far more than you ever imagined. Just like the coin that sold for $33,900, sometimes the value of a coin is hidden beneath the surface, waiting to be discovered. Top 3. In the world of numismatics, certain coins have a way of capturing the imagination of collectors, historians, and even casual enthusiasts. Among them is the 1967 Roosevelt dime, a coin that, despite being a small part of everyday American life, holds a captivating story. What makes this coin so special? Is it just the design? Or is there something more beneath the surface? Let's take a journey through the history, the intricacies of the design, and the fascinating world of coin collecting to uncover what makes the 1967 Roosevelt dime not just a piece of currency, but a piece of history. The Roosevelt dime, as most collectors know, was introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who had passed away the previous year. Roosevelt's legacy, especially his role in leading the nation through the Great Depression and World War II, left an indelible mark on American history. The coin's design was selected as a tribute to his leadership, and it was meant to serve as a lasting reminder of his contributions to the country. Designed by John R. Sinnock, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint, the Roosevelt dime was introduced to replace the Mercury dime, which had been in circulation since 1916. Sinnock's design was simple, yet powerful, featuring a left-facing profile of Roosevelt on the obverse, with the word "Liberty" inscribed above and "In God We Trust" to the left. Below Roosevelt's profile is the year of minting, an essential detail for collectors. On the reverse side, the design features an olive branch, a torch, and an oak branch, symbolizing peace, freedom, and strength, respectively. These elements work together to embody the ideals that Roosevelt represented during his presidency. The coin's design has remained remarkably consistent over the years, making the Roosevelt dime one of the most recognizable coins in U.S. history. Fast forward to 1967, a year of tremendous change in the United States. The country was deeply entrenched in the Cold War, and the social and political landscape was undergoing significant shifts. The civil rights movement was gaining momentum, and the Vietnam War was escalating. In the world of numismatics, however, The Roosevelt dime of 1967 didn't immediately stand out as being anything particularly remarkable. Like most of the dimes minted in that era, it was produced in large quantities, made of an alloy consisting of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel. It weighed 2.27 grams and had a diameter of 17.91 millimeters, specifications that were standard for the dimes of the time. The 1967 Roosevelt dime was minted in large numbers at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. As with most coins of the time, the minting process was highly efficient, producing millions of dimes that would quickly circulate among the American public. To most people, the 1967 dime was just another dime, small, unassuming, and worth exactly 10 cents. However, as time went on, collectors began to realize that certain coins, like the 1967 Roosevelt dime, could hold hidden value. And that's where the real story of this coin begins. You see, the value of a coin is not just defined by its age or its design. It's determined by its rarity, its condition, and any unique characteristics that might make it stand out from the thousands, or even millions, of other coins minted in the same year. While many 1967 dimes are not worth much beyond their face value, there's one key factor that can make a particular coin worth far more than anyone might expect. Minting errors. In the world of numismatics, minting errors are gold. Even the smallest mistake in the production process can turn an otherwise ordinary coin into a highly valuable collector's item. And in the case of the 1967 Roosevelt dime, there are a few specific errors that have caused certain examples to skyrocket in value. One such error is the doubled die variety. This happens when the coin is struck twice during the minting process, causing parts of the design to appear blurred or doubled. For a coin collector, this is a highly sought-after feature. A 1967 Roosevelt dime with a double die can command a price far above its face value, depending on the degree of the error and the coin's overall condition. But the story of the 1967 Roosevelt dime doesn't end with just minting errors. The condition of the coin is another critical factor that can greatly influence its value. Coins that have been kept in pristine, uncirculated condition, without any scratches, discoloration, or signs of wear, are always more valuable to collectors. A well-preserved 1967 dime can fetch a significant premium, especially if it's graded highly by a professional grading service. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, flawless coin. A 1967 Roosevelt dime graded as MS, 67 or higher, especially one that has been carefully preserved in a protective case, can be worth many times more than its face value. The 1967 Roosevelt dime, however, is especially famous due to a particular example that was discovered and sold at auction, which has become one of the most valuable dimes ever sold. This particular coin, in near-perfect condition, was not only graded as MS, 67, but it was also found to have a rare die crack running across the obverse side, which further increased its desirability. Die cracks, which occur when the die used to stamp the coin is damaged, are another form of error that can add rarity and intrigue to a coin. While die cracks are not as dramatic as double dies or off-center strikes, they still create a unique feature that collectors often covet. In 2020, this particular 1967 Roosevelt dime was put up for auction after being preserved for over 50 years. After extensive grading and evaluation, it was revealed that the coin had reached a near-flawless state, with only a few minor imperfections. Bidding at the auction quickly escalated, as collectors from all over the world vied for the opportunity to own this exceptional coin. The final sale price? A staggering $103,900. Yes, you read that correctly. A single 1967 Roosevelt dime, a coin that originally had a face value of just 10 cents, sold for over $100,000. What made this coin so valuable was a combination of factors: its rarity, the errors it contained, its impeccable condition, and the high demand from collectors who recognized its potential. The sale of this coin sent shockwaves through the numismatic community and served as a reminder that in the world of coin collecting, even the most seemingly ordinary items can hold incredible value. For the average person, the 1967 Roosevelt dime may seem like nothing more than a piece of change. But for collectors, it represents a fascinating world of discovery, where every coin holds the potential to be a hidden treasure. Coins like this dime tell stories. Stories of the people, the time periods, and the minting processes that shaped them. And for those who are fortunate enough to find a rare, well-preserved example of this coin, the rewards can be more than just a financial windfall. They are a piece of history, a symbol of the past, and a testament to the value that can be hidden in the most unassuming of objects. So, the next time you come across a 1967 Roosevelt dime, take a closer look. It might just be an ordinary dime, but you never know. Yours could be the next one to make headlines and fetch an incredible price at auction. After all, sometimes the most unlikely coins turn out to be the most valuable. Top 4. The 1999 United States Roosevelt dime is a coin that holds much more value than its face value. Most people might look at it and think it's just another dime, but for collectors and numismatists, it can be worth thousands of dollars, making it one of the most sought-after coins of its kind. If you happen to have one of these coins in your collection, or you come across it by chance, it's important to understand just how valuable it might be. Before diving into the specifics of the 1999 Roosevelt dime's worth, let's take a quick look at the history of this iconic coin. The Roosevelt dime was first minted in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt after his passing. The coin features a profile of Roosevelt on the obverse, designed by John R. Sinnock, while the reverse showcases a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, which symbolize liberty, peace, and strength. While this design has remained relatively unchanged over the years, what really sets the 1999 dime apart is a certain variety that collectors are eagerly seeking to eye in 1999. There was a unique error with some of the dimes minted that year. These coins, known as the 1999 wide AM Roosevelt dime, are highly prized in the numismatic community. The error comes from a slight misalignment in the minting process, where the AM in America on the reverse is spaced too far apart. Normally, the letters are tightly aligned, but in these rare cases, they are clearly spaced wider than usual, creating a distinct visual difference. Now, you might be wondering how a minor error like this could make such a big difference in value. The answer lies in rarity. The 1999 wide AM dime is incredibly rare, and because of that, it can fetch a very high price at auction. Collectors are always looking for these unique varieties to complete their collections, and the 1999 wide AM Roosevelt dime is one of those elusive pieces that stand out as both valuable and historically significant. But don't assume every 1999 Roosevelt dime is worth a fortune. The standard 1999 dimes, without the wide AM error, are worth no more than their face value of 10 cents. However, when it comes to the error coins, the situation is completely different. Depending on the condition of the coin, the rarity, and the demand, these dimes can sell for a premium. For a 1999 wide AM Roosevelt dime in excellent condition, it could be worth anywhere from a few $100s to several thousand. But there's one coin in particular, a nearly flawless specimen of this variety, that has made waves in the world of coin collecting. In 2012, one of these rare dimes sold for an astonishing sum, setting a record that left collectors in a WE.SO. How much is a 1999 Roosevelt dime really worth if you have one of these rare error coins? Well, the most impressive sale to date for a 1999 wide AM Roosevelt dime reached a price that many could only dream of. This specific coin, in top-tier condition, sold for the unbelievable sum of $45,000. That's right, $45,000. This price is not just an arbitrary figure but reflects the demand, rarity, and overall desirability of this specific error coin. It's the kind of sale that makes coin collectors sit up and take notice, proving that even the smallest imperfections in a coin can result in an immense increase in its value. For anyone lucky enough to stumble upon a 1999 Roosevelt dime with the wide AM error, it's important to have it properly authenticated and graded by a professional to determine its true value. While most dimes from this year won't fetch anything close to this sum, the right combination of rarity, condition, and timing can make a huge difference. In conclusion, the 1999 Roosevelt dime is a perfect example of how a small, seemingly insignificant detail in a coin's design can have a monumental impact on its worth. While most 1999 dimes will remain relatively inexpensive, the error variety, particularly the 1999 wide AM Roosevelt dime, can command a remarkable price. So, if you're a collector or simply someone with a keen eye for rare finds, keep an eye out for this unique coin. You might just find yourself holding a valuable treasure worth tens of thousands of dollars. Top 5. The 1994 United States Roosevelt dime is one of those coins that may look ordinary at first glance but holds extraordinary value for those who know what to look for. When most people think of a dime, they think of its face value, just 10 cents. However, for coin collectors and enthusiasts, certain years, errors, and varieties can transform what seems like a small, everyday coin into a rare treasure worth thousands of dollars. The Roosevelt dime has been a staple of American currency since 1946, when it was introduced to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who had passed away the previous year. The coin features a profile of Roosevelt on the front, designed by John R. Sinnock, while the reverse shows a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. This design has largely remained unchanged over the decades, but it's the subtle differences and errors that make certain coins highly collectible. While the 1994 Roosevelt dime doesn't feature the kind of widespread, well-known errors you might find with other years, there are still a few key factors that can determine its value. For most collectors, It's the condition of the coin that makes all the difference. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition tend to be worth far more than those that have been worn down or damaged over time. But it's not just about the condition. There are certain rare varieties that set some 1994 dimes apart from the rest. For example, there were small discrepancies in the minting process that could lead to some coins being slightly off-center or having unusual die markings. These types of coins are considered errors and can be highly valuable. In particular, some 1994 dimes were struck with either a double die or a die crack, making them stand out to collectors. Now, you may be asking yourself, how much could a 1994 Roosevelt dime actually be worth? Well, let's start by saying that most 1994 dimes, in good condition, aren't worth much more than their face value of 10 cents. However, for error coins, or those in near-perfect condition, prices can skyrocket. One of the most coveted varieties is the 1994 dime with a notable error or flaw, and the rarer the coin, the higher the price. A well-preserved 1994 Roosevelt dime, especially one with a noticeable error or unique feature, could fetch anywhere from a few hundred to a few $1,000s at auction. It's the rarest of these coins, however, that really captures the attention of serious collectors. These coins often get sent to professional graders for authentication and certification, ensuring their true value is recognized. And while the price for a standard 1994 Roosevelt dime might seem modest, there are instances where these coins can fetch an eye-popping sum. In fact, one of the most stunning sales of a 1994 Roosevelt dime occurred when an exceptional specimen, featuring a rare error and in near-perfect condition, was sold at auction for an astounding sum. This specific 1994 Roosevelt dime, a coin with an impeccable grade and a rare error, went on to sell for a remarkable $52,000. That's right, $52,000 for a single dime. This sale set a new benchmark for collectors and proved that, when it comes to rare coins, the value is determined not just by the year or denomination, but by the rarity, condition, and uniqueness of the coin itself. If you happen to come across a 1994 Roosevelt dime, it's worth taking a closer look. Check for any unusual marks, die cracks, or imperfections that could signal an error. If you think you've found something special, it's a good idea to have it professionally graded and appraised to determine its true value. The fascinating world of coin collecting is full of hidden gems, and the 1994 Roosevelt dime is a prime example of how an ordinary coin can transform into an extraordinary asset. While most people would pass by a 1994 dime without a second thought, collectors know that with the right combination of rarity and condition, a coin like this could end up being worth far more than you ever imagined. So, next time you're digging through your change, remember, you could be holding a coin worth a small fortune. A well-preserved, error-free 1994 Roosevelt dime might not seem like much, but in the right hands, it could fetch a staggering $52,000.